Acclaimed author and historian Alex Kaczor tackles our antiquated voting system in his new book, Why Do We Still Have the Electoral College? And it could tell us a little bit about how we got here. And he is a professor at the Harvard Kennedy School, and Alex joins us now. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Good to have you with us. So why do you think the Electoral College is outdated?
Well, I think there are many reasons the Electoral College is outdated. It doesn't conform to the principle of one person, one vote. It operates in such a fashion that the entire electoral campaign is focused on swing states and not on the rest of the country. But I think, following up on your lead, I think we've also seen in the last month, we've seen the precariousness of an institution that has so many complicated and moving procedural parts as elections are held. And you're quite right, the elections, the balloting seemed to go more smoothly than many people had anticipated. And the counting seemed to go okay also. But then the occasion within each state for those processes and results to be challenged, and then when it came to the point of within each state of certifying the electoral votes, certifying the electors casting the ballots, and then most recently going to Congress for what the Constitution intended to be, I think, really as a ceremonial event, but turned into an occasion for a partisan challenge. And then, of course, I was going to say unanticipated, but that may not really be true. But the extraordinary events that unfolded yesterday. So I think we've seen that this is a kind of creaky old institution, and its weak links were very visible this year.
You're a historian, and maybe you can put in perspective. Have we seen? I'm sure, we always hear in the past elections were much more tumultuous than they are today. But give us an idea if there's anything you can compare this to.
Well, yes. I mean, there have been tumultuous elections, and there have been, elections. I mean, in the late 19th century, evening parades of people carrying torches behind their candidates, walking behind their candidates, were very common, and they could be intimidating. And we certainly have instances of outcomes that were maybe a little bit dubious, such as when Lyndon Johnson was first elected to the Senate by, I think, something that ended up being about 25 votes, which came in late in a certain precinct in Texas. We've never seen anything in a presidential election that has come close to this in any respect. First, the outcome being challenged. The last time the outcome was seriously challenged was in 1876, 1877. Although the 1960 election had some funky ingredients to it, it might have been challenged. But there's been nothing like what happened this year since 1876, 1877. And that was the occasion. That was at the end of Reconstruction, determined the end of Reconstruction. It was when regional conflict in the United States was very, very tense and high. Northern troops were still occupying the South. The bitterness of the war was very present. And it was that deadlock and difficulty counting that led to the writing of the Electoral Count Act, which I think many people in the United States have heard about for the first time in the last 2 weeks and didn't know that it governed the detailed procedures of what happened here in the last couple of weeks. But there's been no challenge to a presidential election by the losing candidate, and to underscore it even more, the losing candidate who also was president of the United States and had the force and power of the national government as he tried to twist the returns and lean on people to change the returns. I think it's the leaning on people, the fact that our system relies at critical junctures, our electoral system, on expecting partisan actors like state legislators, senators, members of Congress to act in a fair and nonpartisan fashion.
Yeah. And those Republicans stood up to him in that regard.
in
in the name of fairness.
Right, in the end they did. No, exactly. I mean, you can draw either message. You can see, as I'm emphasizing, the precariousness of the institutions, but you can also say, in the end, the Republicans said, no, we're not going to follow your bidding.
Well, thank you so much for joining us. The book is Why Do We Still Have the Electoral College? And Alex is also the author of The Right to Vote, about the contested history of democracy in the United States. Thanks for joining us.
Okay, thank you.
Take care.